Kia ora, hello and welcome to the Creative Matters podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with New Zealand artists. I'm your host, Mandy Yarkich. These conversations are intimate, uplifting and insightful. The guests on the show have absolutely enriched my life, and I'm sure their stories will have the same effect on you. Thank you so much for joining me to listen to these amazing people speak about what drives them, the way they work, and their personal takes on life. This week I am talking with abstract painter Lucy Rice. Lucy is a full-time artist living in the small seaside town of Snells Beach, an hour north of Auckland, with her husband and 3 young children. She studied photography and art at Elam School of Fine Art in Auckland and spent 8 years running her own photography business, Lucy Rice Photography, before launching her painting career in early 2019.
My work has been, I've talked about it as being these emotional landscapes. And I think that's how I paint, is that I paint and it's how I'm feeling at the time will determine the colour that I put down, what music I'm listening to, and it will just evolve from there into maybe more of a literal landscape.
Lucy is a beautiful person with a beautiful art practice. I really enjoyed meeting her, and I'm sure you'll love listening to her story. She talks about her positive experience at art school, how she left her photography business to become a full-time artist and painter in 2019, her approach to managing a healthy work-life balance as an artist with 3 young children, and the ways she connects with her beloved mum through her painting. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Mandy.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
It's lovely to meet you and welcome to Muriwai.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here. It's a real pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome. And it's a very blustery, horrible winter day, lots of rain. So we're snuggled up in the studio, which is good.
Mm-hmm. It's lovely in here.
Yeah, thank you. So, I'm really looking forward to hearing your story. I think your paintings are really beautiful. And I discovered you on Instagram and thought, I need to talk to this woman.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
So it'll be really interesting to hear your story. And I know that you started with photography after university and ended up painting. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing all about how you got to this amazing painting practice.
Yeah.
So, tell us where you were born and what sort of childhood you had.
Right, well, I was born in New Plymouth, grew up there for the first 10 years of my life. We moved around quite a bit. We did live for a while near sort of a farm, and I would go horse riding a lot. And then from there I was always into creative things, but I would spend hours just drawing horses all day. So that's basically, we had a lot of rainy days like this actually.
Yeah, you would.
So you had to have a hobby inside to kind of keep busy.
And what was your family like?
So my parents separated when I was quite young. I was about 4, but they both lived in New Plymouth and I would just sort of bounce back between them. And I have a brother, his name's Ben. He's 2 years older than me. So we just sort of rode that interesting childhood journey together, I guess.
Yeah.
Which had its challenges, for sure.
I bet.
Yeah.
And was art for you at that point something where you would sort of go to escape?
I guess looking back, it probably was. There was a lot of time, I just remember being in my room a lot, just drawing, and that was just my happy place. Yeah, and even at school, I remember that was my favourite thing to do, was just colour the edges of any essay we had to write or little project, was colouring the title and, so I guess, it was my little special thing to myself that I had.
Yeah. And at high school, was that something that you felt like you were going to pursue?
Yeah, I think naturally I just fell into that. We moved to Mount Maunganui when I was, about 11. And from, about third form when we started taking art classes there. And it was just my favourite subject. And I pretty much took, by the end of it in seventh form, I think I took all the art classes you could take. I took art history by correspondence because we didn't have a teacher there, and just filled up as much art as I can, and photography, of course. So I know all my friends just were doing everything, like geography and maths and all sorts, but no, I just did pretty much all the art subjects, and that was definitely my thing. From very young, I guess.
So, Lucy, were you thinking at that point, at the end of your high school years, that you were going to study art or photography, or were you even thinking that you could make a career in photography or as an artist?
Yes, so that for me is the biggest thing. I think I was constantly toying with that idea of how am I going to make a living out of this, and I think back then that I didn't really know of many artists or photographers. So it was a bit scary because I knew I felt like I wanted to have a career in something and actually be able to provide money, and if I had a family one day. So it was always on my mind. And I think when I hear this about a lot of artists now, it's we were told that you can't make a living as an artist. And I guess looking back, I wish I had not thought so much about that. I mean, I know it's just a natural thing, but yes, I still just pushed on. I remember talking to my art teacher in seventh form, and he was very positive about me going into Elam and getting into there and just finding my way and then deciding what I wanted to do. I never really thought ahead too much. I just kind of just rolled with it. I don't really know how people could see what they wanted to be just at the end of high school. I just found that crazy. I would always ask people, how do you know that's what you want to do? And I just never really, I just wanted to try lots of things, I think. And I guess going to art school would have allowed me that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And it is, I mean, it's very much like that, isn't it? It's very hard to make a decision for the rest of your life what your career is going to be at 17.
Yeah.
So you went to Elam School of Fine Arts here in Auckland.
Yes.
How did you find that?
I felt like I found my people for the first time. They were just so out there. So not that I feel like I am, but they were just so creative, and it was just such a mixed bag of people. I loved that. I just love different people. I love interesting people. I get so much out of being around someone, and kind of like you, I guess, hearing their story, and there'd be people of all ages there, and it was lovely. I felt like it was a good decision, and it was really nice to be there. And all the different tutors were quite different too, and you just sort of felt your way through it and what you wanted to do. I initially got into it because of my painting, but then when I was there, I was thinking more about career, and then I thought, well, I'll do video and photography and just sort of start getting more into that. But Elam is definitely a very conceptual art school, so it's not really about having a big, photography career, or, just it was very different. The mindset there was very different.
It wasn't about the sort of business side of things.
It's like, no, you were being an artist. That's why you're here.
Yeah, which is great.
Yes, which I loved because I got a lot from that too, to be myself. Judy Durra was one of my tutors for a while.
Really?
And I had some really awesome conversations with her, just to not hold back. If you have an idea, just fully go for it and not care what people thought. And I think that for me was like a big moment of changing how I thought, and starting that process of just doing it for myself and trying to not think about what other people thought.
Which is hard when you're young.
Oh, yeah. But when you're around people that are so different, I think it just opens your eyes into a whole new world of, everyone's so different. It doesn't matter, you can do what you want.
That's so great. So you really had that sort of sense of belonging.
Yeah, there. And I met my now husband there in my first year of Elam. So, yes, he was sort of in the same group of friends that we had, and so beautiful. 18 years old I was.
Wow, how good.
Yep.
That's amazing. And that just adds to the richness of that process at art school, that you met your love of your life as well.
I think, I don't know of any other couples, well, not in our year, that would have stayed together. So it's quite funny. Even the years after we'd finished and people saw us, oh, you're still together.
That's so good. Yeah. But you had that in common. I mean, it's great, the art, love of art.
Oh, yeah. And especially when I met his family, they are all very arty. And also, again, the minute I stepped foot in his parents' home, just felt so at ease and at home with them. They're both artists themselves, and they have been lecturers and art teachers their whole lives. So their house is just, there's no wallpaper. It's art everywhere.
How
it's
amazing.
Lovely. Yeah.
That's so good. And that kind of thing, it just is so, being in that sort of environment can be so encouraging.
Yeah, exactly.
Affirming, yeah. So you studied, tell us about, what you're actually studying at Elam and where you went from there.
So I did a lot of little experimental video works, I guess you would say, and I did very conceptual photography works. So no painting at all, really, the whole time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And did you miss it? Were you sort of pining for it?
I don't think I missed it because I spent so much of high school painting. My mum owned an art shop when I was in high school in Mount Maunganui, and I would just sit in the window and paint for her customers to come in, and I'd try out all the products. So I spent a lot of time painting, and I guess I just was wanting to go somewhere different because I knew how to paint. I would paint people, because I had quite realistic drawings, and then I started painting, people, and I think photography was just a little bit different, and I could probably see, again, with that career side of things, more fitting in, and just, having more options there. Yeah.
So how did you, what was your kind of, your final work at the end of Elam?
I did these series. They were 3 really large blown up photographs. So it's interesting because now my paintings are quite similar to those photo works that I did. They were quite abstract, but they were very colourful. And I got this model, and she dressed up as, it was very Alice in Wonderland, very colourful, and she had this giant rabbit bunny head thing on her. And I got her walking through the winter gardens, so it's very floral, very colourful, but it was very abstract, so it was hard to kind of see what was going on. So it was just sort of telling a story, really. Very feminine, very girly, colourful. Which is basically my paintings now, I guess.
Yeah, which is so interesting. I mean, your paintings definitely have a beautiful sort of gentle, feminine feel.
Yeah.
Just, I guess, from the colours you use, and just, I don't know. Yeah. But we'll get onto that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after Elam, what happened then?
So after that, my, then boyfriend, we just went travelling. And we went to Japan for a year and did a lot of travel in Asia, which I just loved. And India, we did hiking in Nepal and just amazing things. So, I've got such fond memories of that. And I love other cultures, and now as well with my painting, I get so much from the old photographs that I had taken with my old camera on those trips now. So, yeah.
And were you using your photography a lot at that time?
Not so much. I think we just needed a break from art.
Yeah.
And just experience the world. And I guess, if you travel with someone, then you'll kind of know if that's your person too. So, yeah. It was interesting, but yeah, we came out of it at the end, and it was great living in a different culture as well. That was quite amazing. But I did, in the weekends, used to go and take photographs. We lived in Kyoto, which was gorgeous and very cool, just seeing all the old buildings and the colours. And so I would go and take little photographs sometimes and bike around. We just had bikes, these old, so... Yeah, we didn't do too much art stuff there. We did go to some galleries in Osaka, which you could take the train to, and get a good hit of like the real art scene there, which was fun. But then come home and be a bit more quieter in Kyoto, which was lovely.
So I guess that would have been really inspiring, being away, but also having that break was quite good creatively, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And then when we got back, I was just...
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Is it going?
Yeah, sorry. We're all good. Carry on. I just pulled a face then, sorry, I cut you off.
No, and then, I guess, started to think about what we wanted to do when we got back to New Zealand. And, that's when I started doing photography more and more. I would do little shoots by myself with a makeup artist friend on the weekends just to be a bit more creative. And then I actually got asked by my brother to photograph his wedding and also be bridesmaid.
Wow.
So I thought, okay, I'm sure I can do both. So that was my first introduction to doing a wedding, and I loved it, even though I worked doubly hard and had to throw my camera as I walked up the aisle to Matt, my husband, and he took while I was standing up there, and then he'd throw it back. And
wow.
And so I thought, okay, a lot of people had said to me, why don't you get into weddings? And after doing my brother's one, and I thought, well, if I can do that and be bridesmaid, I'm sure I can just take photographs.
Yeah.
It should be fine.
That's a huge job. I can't imagine it. Yeah. And so were you actually thinking you were going to head down that wedding photography?
Never. I never thought that. It just naturally came about. And, I guess people were starting to get married that I knew. And I did photography. So I was just asked by initially just friends of friends, and and then it just started growing from there basically as things do. And that was in about 2014, 2015 is when I properly started my business, and
that was called Lucy Rice Photography.
Yes.
Yeah, funny that.
Yes. And it was great in the sense that I could take on my own work. Obviously still working for yourself and from home has got its challenges for sure, and I don't think people see that a lot. They probably see me having cups of tea all day, or that's what I thought back then,
Yeah.
But no, I did so much work behind the scenes, and every day I would be building my website from scratch. They didn't have these kind of easy templates like they do now with Squarespace and everything. So I remember spending hours just writing copy pasting HTML stuff, and just getting that going and understanding how websites worked and domains and all that sort of thing. So I think that was part and parcel of all the learning process. And then I guess invoicing people and kind of running the business like that seriously.
Yeah, the financial side.
Yeah.
Which can be tough for creatives.
Yeah, it definitely can be. I did eventually get an accountant because that stuff just, eventually went over my head. And I just think I would rather pay someone to do it. And I didn't have to think about that. I can just focus more on the photography.
Yeah, I think that is good. And I remember my business mentor telling me once that, get the people who know how to do things to do those things. Yeah. Because you can't sort of be a master at everything.
No, you can't.
Yeah, and it does feel good to let some of that stuff go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The minute I did, I felt so good about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, and ever since then, that's what I've been doing. But yeah, I guess that kind of snowballed more. Every wedding season would be slightly longer. It would sort of start in spring and end sort of late autumn, and then even winter weddings were starting to pop up. And I was just starting to get quite a lot of traction with that and my name out there, because it's also someone would have their wedding with me, and if they recommended me to a friend, and that was really lovely to have a connection through that with people. And I do miss that about weddings, is that feeling you get at the end of a wedding is that huge relief. I mean, after a 10-hour day, it's quite tiring, but you feel really proud and accomplished, and met some really awesome people, and on their happiest day of their life. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really complain much.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Really, and it's quite an intimate relationship, I guess, that you develop with the people.
Oh yeah, I remember I just had to be timekeeper as well, and the support, especially for the bride, and just keep them on track the whole day, and keep them happy. So no, I really did enjoy that, and I think that that gave me a lot of confidence going forward. And then I got pregnant, so things slowed down a little bit. I had my first child, Jacob. He's now 6.5. But again, I could take on what I wanted and when I wanted, and especially knowing if I had a 3-month-old baby, I can delegate that to another photographer and just do the editing and stuff like that, which was really
handy.
That's
great, isn't it?
Yeah. And I remember doing definitely a couple of seasons fully pregnant. Wow. And I not long after got pregnant with twins. So
oh my goodness,
I did do a wedding season with twins. And everyone was so lovely and would keep offering me a chair every now and then. But I'm quite a physical photographer. I'd always get down really low, and I'd move around a lot. So it was kind of harder. I used to get people to come and help me take photos on right in the end there. But anyway, that's
amazing.
Yeah.
So how old are your twins now?
So they are 5. So I had 3 under 2.
Whoa.
Which was quite a shock.
That's huge.
Yeah. I didn't know twins were in our family, so that was very shocking.
Wow. So did you kind of maintain your business through that time? I mean, I know you had your business for 8 years. Yeah. So sort of how did you come to the end of that? And what happened then?
So I still was taking on weddings, but reducing them significantly. And I naturally started doing family photography because I had my own family and all I was photographing was my children. So I got very used to doing that. And then just organically, friends of mine again had children, and still now I take my friends' photos every now and then. And so basically we moved up to Snells Beach about 4 years ago now, I think. We were living in Hobsonville Point while we had the twins and Jacob very young there. So that was all a bit of a blur. And then we've moved up now to a place which I love and just is so home. And since we've moved up, I still was doing weddings, but then COVID hit. And that basically I just destroyed the wedding the whole wedding industry, really.
Yeah, it's just been so hard on that industry.
Yeah, it's basically the first to go because it's a luxury service. I mean, also getting married and paying a photographer, and people were doing just very small 1 hour things just to actually get married in the end. But I know a lot of photographers that had to leave the industry for sure. It's and then I guess that made me think that with photography, I relied on people to photograph rather than, I guess then I started to get into painting, but I was always thinking it would be nice to produce something and sell rather than rely on a person that I had to photograph. So it's quite a different concept. And during the lockdown is when it was 2019, I started painting a little bit in the garage, and I picked up the paintbrush for the first time. And that was just so wonderful. It was like a long lost friend, because I think that would have been about 10 years that I hadn't painted. And just to have the space and the children running around and being at home with them, and they were sort of at kindy. So yeah, I had the time there. And then when the lockdown happened, that's when I started to paint a lot more, because I sort of had started. And
you weren't able to work, I guess.
Yeah, I couldn't go out and see people and photograph people for sure.
Yeah. So I'd love to know, just thinking about your photography, Lucy, did you ever kind of pine for the more conceptual, abstract photography, and did you ever do that alongside your wedding photography?
No, I didn't.
It's interesting.
Once I started photographing people, that's just what I started doing. Yeah.
And you enjoyed that sort of fed your creative.
Yeah, it did. And I would take photos that I liked. I mean, I always give people a lot of photos. Even in the family shoots, I would always be leaning more towards even the kind of blurred ones where they'd run really fast, or I'd just be in a really weird angle. I would always give them then. I know they would probably just print the really nice ones of them smiling, but I loved that sort of feeling behind that. And I always tell my families that come, like, don't worry what your kids do. I've got young children. It's just you. It's just your family. I don't do those sort of posy white shirts and all that. We always go out to a beach or something. But, usually the kids end up in the water, and I'll photograph them playing. And so usually the minute I say I'm putting the camera away, the kids start laughing and play, and then I get it back out like, oh. So it's more of that connection. And I think the parents love that. That's their child with sand everywhere and, black and whites. I would always give them some. So that's more, I guess, the arty style of that photography.
So you held on to that, which is good.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing, isn't it, that you love painting so much, but you had 10 years away from it.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't have the space. I mean, flatting at university, I didn't want to take up space with paints and, and then wherever we lived, I guess it was the supplies. And I always thought at the back of my mind, I can't wait to paint. But I thought I would start painting when I was much older, like as just a hobby. I never thought I would start back again so soon.
Which is so good when you've got little kids to actually, and lockdown I think was good for lots of people in that way.
Oh yeah, so creative. I got so much out of that, and time as a family all together. I know my husband is now a teacher, an art teacher, but he is home with the holidays and everything, which I'm so grateful for. But even having that time at lockdown where it was every day just together, and we would do these little art projects as a family in the garage, and it was really lovely. And the kids, when they see me painting now, I think that's quite special. It gives them something. They're quite proud of me now, and they see me doing what I love, which is so cool.
Good. And that's such a great thing to pass on to your children.
Oh yeah.
How amazing. And they've sort of been there with you through the journey.
Absolutely.
That's really beautiful. So let's get on to your painting practice.
Sure.
Can you describe, to somebody who's never seen your work, can you describe your paintings to it?
I do a mixture of abstract still life, and abstract landscape. So my colours are very light pastel colours and quite textural. They're very layered. And yeah, so composition for me is really important. I like that. And yeah, so they're abstracts. I use house paint a lot, and it gives it that really nice thick look. Lovely light pastel pinks and peaches and olive avocado greens, lilac purples and things like that. And then underneath I'll have layers of thin layers, so really watered down acrylics, acrylic inks. So it just gives it that a little bit of 3D, 2D feel through the painting. Yeah. And I use mixed media, so a bit of pastels and I try to use what I have around me in a different way. So if I had a pastel or a chalk, I might scribble a bit, or then I might run it along a sharp edge and kind of make like snow and drip it down. And I like to kind of play around a bit, I think, with how I put it on the canvas. So
they're really, really beautiful paintings. And it's interesting, isn't it, that you've got those sort of three versions of abstract painting almost.
Yeah.
So how do you decide what version you're working on?
Right. I think I don't know. At the time I have an idea. I think, I'm going to go full abstract. And I start putting down the first layers, which are usually really a lot darker layers and quite thin. So I'll sort of start with a lot of dark blues or dark greens or dark kind of maroon colours, and then build it up from there. But I might have an idea in my mind, and then as I'm going, it seems to evolve into its own thing, and I can't really stop it. And then, so if I maybe had an idea about doing an abstract, I would start doing it, and then I thought, a coffee cup would look cute. So it'll completely change, and I just have to kind of go with what I'm feeling at the moment. But sometimes I have actually dreamt about a painting, and I knew exactly what it's going to look like.
Really?
And I can't wake up and I do it.
Wow.
And I love when that happens, or I get a vision, or I have something that the colours together, I know that that's what I want to do, and I'll do it. And so, it's usually a mix. So maybe, 50-50 I would maybe know, and then the other I wouldn't, and just play around a bit. And I guess with the whole, my work has been, I've talked about it as being these emotional landscapes. And I think that's how I paint, is that I paint and it's how I'm feeling at the time will determine the colour that I put down, what music I'm listening to, and it will just evolve from there into maybe more of a literal landscape. So it will kind of then look maybe bird's eye view, with then the abstracts and the lines looking like roads. I guess,
that's amazing.
That's kind of how I think it goes. If it's going more into like a landscape, it starts off as an emotional thing, as a response to colours.
And becomes a physical thing.
And then I might get this really strong feeling about a place. Usually it's from my past or where I am now. And I will bring in things of that remind me of that place. And then it may end up more abstract, but it may end up then more of like a landscape, but with crazy colours everywhere.
So sometimes your landscapes are quite representational, aren't they? But I guess it's the colour that takes them to that more abstract place.
Yes.
But also the use of shape is still quite sort of open, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And I guess I'm more doing these semicircular, kind of like what you'd think of a rainbow, that sort of shape. I tend to repeat that a lot, and then I think, that looks like a hill, and so maybe that's my process if I'm going more into a landscape. Yeah.
That's interesting. And do you ever take photographs of places and use that for a starting point?
Yes, definitely. And most of the commissions I get are landscapes, and that's nice because I can see the colours in there and I can just run with it completely. They trust me a lot.
Yeah. So how do you take that sort of photograph to that abstract place?
If it's a personal thing, I guess it would probably come from a lot of different photographs, but mostly the colours to start, and then it will be the same vibe, I think, if I'm just the emotional side of it. And also the spiritual side of it too. I'm very in touch with that. So yeah, every painting is so different. Sometimes I think that they don't look cohesive as a whole, but everyone seems to say that they are definitely mine.
Oh, so, definitely. You can really spot a Lucy Rice for sure.
See, yeah, sometimes I went into like a really, my first collection actually was the more turquoisey light blues mixed with the peaches, and it was a lot of sea-based, these kind of abstract seascapes. And that was I just felt so compelled to paint those colours. And then now I've done this latest collection is all very pink and girly again, which is what I kind of started painting. So then I'm like, how does this relate? But I always have a bit of pink or something in my other paintings.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same actually. Yeah. I can't help, I'm quite drawn to pink. And pink is one of those colours, it's quite opposing. I mean, some artists just would be horrified to use pink.
I know, but there's some really lovely pinks. It's like really earthy. I love that dusky pink colour. It's just very subtle. Yeah. I don't like,
and it's beautiful. I mean, it's just, I'm so drawn to it. And then I love the way you use quite earthy colours, like you said, with the olive, but also beautiful mustards and ochres and other gorgeous, quite earthy colours that complement those more pastel colours so beautifully.
At the moment, I'm kind of into wanting to do some abstract ones with more black in it, which is quite different.
Yeah, I can actually imagine.
Yeah, well, I did do one actually, and I don't know where that one came from, and it hardly had any pink in it, but it was black and mustards and very kind of steel blues, greys. Yeah, very beautiful. I don't know where that came from, but I thought,
that's interesting.
I'd like to do a bit more of that. Yeah.
And how do you actually work? Do you sort of work on a collection for a specific event, or is each individual piece, a piece of its own, or how do you work with your painting?
I've realised that doing more of a collection style is quite nice because I have all the similar colours ready to go, and I love the look when I step back and they do look cohesive. It's quite nice to think, this tells a little story. So yeah, I love doing that first one that I did, and I got a lot out of that, and it just felt more finished at the end. But prior to that, I was just playing around, and I would do a painting and then I'd do another, and they could be very different and just have different themes. And I did a painting of carrots, and I did a painting of little salt and pepper shakers to start, and they would just be floating in this space of complete abstraction. So it just kind of helped me zone in and kind of think more and be more organised and just do it properly. And also I like buying a whole lot of canvases and having them there in all white and thinking, what am I going to make on them, rather than just drip drab one at a time. And it's quite fun to just think, okay, cool, it's quite
motivating. And then do you start working on a number of canvases at one time? So I'll usually have like 3 or 4 on the go. Even now, if I've got some commissions and things, that I'll about 4 usually that can fit happily. And do you ever do drawing to start with?
Sometimes I do more and more now, but I sort of think, I feel it's very intuitive for me, the process of painting, that I still would rather just go at it and change it as I go and paint like that, which feels more me than really organized and put, drawing it out. Kind of restricting too, because you can't just have real fun with a whole lot of big paint strokes. And I definitely love painting on big canvases the most. So if only my space could fit really big ones everywhere, that would be ideal. I just have a bit more freedom and can kind of do what I want on it, and I love it. But when it's a smaller canvas, feel
restricted.
Yeah, I do.
And do you think your practice is quite experimental? I mean, obviously you do work intuitively, like you said, but is there sort of a lot of experimenting with materials and tools and that kind of thing as well?
Yeah, I think when I first started, I think I'd played around a lot with what I liked and just figuring out with what worked on a canvas and what didn't. And there were lots that I threw away for sure. And I mean, I just had fun with coffee and wax of a candle one time, because I thought, oh, why not? Just see what happens with them combined. And yeah, I love doing that every now and then, is just trying out different things and seeing what works. But I think now I have certain things that I go to and what I use and what I like using, and so now it's probably more of just the same.
Yeah, I guess you've sort of fine-tuned it to what you love the most. Yeah. And I love some of your titles. They kind of give the viewer a little sneak into what you're thinking, which is kind of nice when it's an abstract work. How do you go about titling your work when it's not necessarily responding to a certain thing? Yeah,
a few paintings I've known what I wanted to paint and I knew the title already. So that's been quite lovely. But all the other times it's just at the end and I will stand back and then a word will come to me, or a little sentence of just how I was feeling, or the response maybe emotionally, or depending on which collection it was, I guess.
It's so good. And I like the way you write your name. I'm going to ask actually guests how they sign their name on their work. I'm going to start asking that question because it's such an interesting one, isn't it? And I think it's quite hard often to kind of, when you first start painting, to decide how you want to write your name.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so can you describe your signature?
Yeah, so I just write Rice, which is my maiden name. My dad actually recently asked me, why do you write Rice? And I guess maybe it was just because of the photography, and I've just had it's a business thing, I don't know, but also it's easy to remember and it's easy to write compared to my married name. And I just like the look of it. And then I do a little rice grain, so I write RICE, and there's a little dash which looks like a grain of rice.
Right. I wondered about that dash. So it's the dash and then rice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in capital letters.
Yes.
Yeah. And where do you like to place it?
Bottom right. Very traditional, I guess. Yeah.
Although it's not right in the corner, is it? It's kind of into
depends, because usually in the corner I always do something kind of more detailed, and I don't want to take away from the detail of that. But then I'm sort of looking more, maybe I shouldn't sign it. I don't know. I signed it at the back.
On the front, do you mean?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I just feel like it might take away from the painting, or be a bit. Here I am. I don't know. I find it a little bit cringe doing it, to be honest. But that's why I make it fun. Put the rice grain.
I love it. It's so good.
Maybe I'll just do a grain.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Or a bowl of rice or something.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? I think it will be really interesting to talk to lots of different guests about that.
I think so too.
Making that decision.
Yes.
Whether you put it on the painting, on the side of the painting, or how you approach it. And you use a fine brush with paint.
Yeah, I mean, I just do it however. Yeah, I'm not super finicky with how it looks or anything at all.
I think it works really well. on the
Thank
front.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I think it's good. Yeah, but it's a very interesting one. And I think there's lots of different approaches.
That's a really interesting question too.
I think I'm going to note that down, come back to it.
For sure.
And tell us about your studio space.
Yep, so we've recently moved to a house in Snells Beach, and I have a whole kitchenette / lounge area in our downstairs, which I've turned into my space, and it's great because it has a sink and got some shelving there, and it's better than being in the garage, which we were in. I was just painting in there, and then I would have the kids' bikes leaning up against my table or my easel and all. So now it's my zone, and I can. Yeah, it's great. It's warm.
And is it a no kid zone, or are they allowed to come in?
They always come in and go. Yeah, they always are in and around. But at least I've got a bit of a bench top, and I've got another kind of table with my computer on it, and got a couch there, and got my plants, and just setting
space.
it up, my little cozy space like this, and to have people over one day will be great, and an open studio.
And it means so much, doesn't it?
Yeah, and like this, it's got doors to go outside, so we want to make it a real nice little courtyard area.
There's nothing
plans,
like
but
having your own space, but whether you have time to develop it is never easy.
I know.
So I mean, I guess the work-life balance and being a mum of 3 busy children would be pretty full on, but you've obviously kind of taken this on as a new business for yourself, and you would have had such great experience from your photography business. Yeah. So how do you kind of see your art practice as your full-time career? Yes, I feel it so fits with me now in this time of my life. I've never felt so sure about something in my life, which is very strange. And I knew photography was something I would always have, and this just feels on that soul level just so right. I absolutely love it. It's all I want to do. And I knew probably late 2020, I was like, yep, okay, this is what I want to do. How amazing. Yeah. And how do you kind of work your day around your other commitments? Drop the kids off at school and come back and obviously do a bit of a tidy of the house. But I guess that's that thing of not getting too obsessed with having to do the house stuff when you're at home and you work from home. So being downstairs, it's a nice separation. Yeah. I can walk down and then I'm in painting zone. Yeah. And to get started to paint, it does take me a while. I've got to make sure it's kind of tidy, get all my paints out for a start, put my incense on, I put some nice music on. Usually it's like kind of fun, kind of reggae, or it's classical piano things. It depends on the feeling. And during winter, I want to put happy music on, so it's so dreary outside. And just make it all cozy and fun. And so by the time I start painting, it could be a good hour of just getting it all set up. And I've found now if I start painting before lunchtime, it's great. So I can do some, I guess, more admin work, like do some emails as well, and just kind of get a bit more sorted for the day. And then once I get into the painting zone, I'm good, and I've had a good hour at least maybe of painting before I stop for a little break. And then I will finish it off and kind of finish up painting around like 2:00 or 2:30, and then go get the kids. So there's sort of not much room. It goes so quickly. It's not actually that much time. It's only really like 2 hours in the day of painting by the time I get fully started. So, and how do you find that? Do you find that sort of stifles your flow or your creativity? Yeah, because I guess you know what it's like. Once you get in it, you just don't want to stop. But I also feel it's good because I can get a bit obsessed, and sometimes I don't eat, and then I'll
I'll go till 2:00, and because I sort of say I know I've got a time limit and I've got to get the kids, so I just do it, and then I don't stop for a break, and then I know, oh, that's silly. I need to just be a bit more balanced in my day. Or sometimes lately, because the weather's been a bit horrible, but I've been going for a walk before I paint, and that is so nice. So I just get that done and have that time to be out in nature, and then I can come back and do it, and it helps me the rest of the day balance my day. But if I just kind of, the days I go straight into it, I sort of get a bit so stuck in it that I can't get back out. But also now that we've got, I can paint inside and in the warmth, and I have a studio light that's like a daylight now. So I have gone down and painted at night once I've put the kids to bed.
Yeah,
and that
great.
Feels like real, like sneaky treat. So it's kind of fun painting at night, and I never really have. So that's great. Nice to be able to do it if I feel like I haven't done enough.
Yeah. And the thing is that you're being a mum, you're a busy mum involved with your kids, and you're still able to paint. Yes. To a certain extent. Yeah. And then that's only going to be able to increase, I guess, over time.
Yeah. And the more that they are there, I think still with just being winter, they've been home a lot with bugs and stuff. So I haven't really, had these full days much to myself, really. Usually one's home or all of them. And
it's just like a mindset thing, isn't it, as a mum in some ways? You've just got to kind of do what works with your family, and then make the most of that, even though it may not be the perfect work scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I do feel very grateful that I can do that and be home and be there for them, and also be doing my work. I just always think, I'm very, very grateful every day.
It's a good combo, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's perfect. And how do you find the sort of commercial side of your business? I mean, are you connected to a gallery at all at the moment, or are you doing any exhibitions?
Yes, so I'm with Endemic World, which is in Ponsonby Road, and I have quite a few pieces there. That was quite a thrill, just them taking me on. It's lovely to just finally people see my work and love it, I guess, as much as I do. It's quite a surreal thing, really, but and then I have a few works in a shop in Mount Maunganui, and I've recently been signed with Greenhouse Interiors, which is a homeware gallery place in Australia. So that for me was a huge dream come true. Kind of still pinching myself now when I say it out loud. And I just can't, I can't believe that I'm here now. And when I first started painting, I was thinking, oh wow, that would be really cool to be in with them, and now here I am, and
wow,
and just again, like, feel so grateful that they see that in me, and it just means I feel like I'm on the right path, you know, when things feel aligned, and it feels good. It feels
that's
real
so good. And how did they find you, Lucy? Did they find you, or did you connect with them?
I connected with them over Instagram, which of course is that whole world with artists, you know, which you can get sucked into. And I actually try to not look too much, which is nice, because, you know, you would never produce any work. But I remember messaging them a few times, and then I was working on a collection. This latest one, very pink one, very Italian inspired, of my dream to just go to Italy basically and paint there and live there in another world, right? Or maybe later on in life. So when I was working on that, I just sent them through. I said, oh, this is what I'm working on if you like the look of it. And they said, yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So
and that sometimes you just have to do that, don't you, as an artist? You know,
put yourself out there a little bit, which I did learn so much in photography. I got so many rejections, and people would shop around for photographers and meet you, and then they'd go, no, we've chosen someone else. And I have had a lot of that doing photography, so I think I've got a bit of a thick skin when it comes to that now, which I'm thankful for, because other things I don't have thick skins in, but it feels really good to just not fixate on it too much.
Yeah.
If it's a no, or you just move on and, well, that wasn't right for me at the time, then that's fine. Yeah.
And that's great that you've had that experience to help you get to that place in a way. I mean, I always just see life as a journey, and the sort of so-called failures or the things that don't work out as intended is just part of that journey.
Absolutely.
And you can just use it. And if you see it as that, then it's doesn't actually have to be a negative thing. It's just like, okay, that's part of my learning. You know, that's what I need to do, and before I do the other thing after it.
Yep, you weren't ready, you know, and I'm an Aries, so I want to go at things fast, and I want to.
I'm an Aries too.
Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, well, it's like you want to do all these things, and you have grand ideas, but it's learning patience for me is the biggest thing. And I feel now like I just am so. I feel like things work out when they're meant to, and actually one of the weddings that I was cancelled. She sort of wanted some her deposit and retainer back and things, and I thought, oh yeah, okay. She said, look, if you were an artist and you'd gone and bought all the products and paints, then and she wasn't particularly nice at the time, and I hadn't actually experienced someone like that, and I was like, yeah, no, that's fine, like I will refund you that and whatever. But and when she actually said that about being a painter, I felt like that was a little light bulb thing for me. And I thought, wow, okay, so what a material object, in buying materials to secure something is more value, or holds its value in a weird way more than booking a date of a wedding or something like that. So anyway, it just made me think. And so now, it's funny because that was like the ending of so many things as well with the wedding side of stuff. And I learned so much from that. And now it's kind of a blessing. Yeah, what she said, and I sort of think, oh well, now I am painting and doing this, and there
you go. You've turned around the negative.
So it's funny how
to be a positive.
Yeah, you can take some knocks, and actually, it benefits you in the way you think later on in life.
Yeah, I really believe that. And I mean, do you have a network of artists, or have you ever collaborated with other artists so that you've got that sort of, that group of people you can go to if you're stuck on something artistically, or just as a sort of support network?
Yes, I've got, it's amazing who you can meet on these social media things, and I love talking to people and getting little messages back, and knowing that everyone goes through the same things. And it's just, it's really nice to feel like you've got a little community and you're not there on your own. I think ideally lovely one day to have a big studio space and everyone go there and meet. Mind you, I don't know if people would get stuff done if we were talking all the time. So maybe in a way it's like how lovely we can connect now on social media and just have the odd chat and stuff. It's just so cool.
Instagram often is a positive place, I think, for artists to interact.
Yeah.
It can be negative too.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really, for me, it's been pretty positive.
And would you ever consider working in a shared studio space?
But then again, it's like I do like my own little rituals at home. So I guess I would be torn between that, because I do like to be by myself. And I talk to my mother a lot, who's not here. So
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, she's always been really like wanting me to paint, so for me it's quite special time with just her, actually.
That brings a tear to my eye. Wow, that's really beautiful. And isn't that lovely that you've found that place with painting that your mum wanted you to get to?
Yes, I know she'd just be so happy. I don't know, she's around and real. see her numbers everywhere, and I saw it just on your book, number 13.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I went to the petrol station too this morning, and it was 13. I was like, okay.
Mum's
right,
here.
Mum's around.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really special.
Yeah. She was always just like follow that, and always so supportive. And she would worry about me doing weddings at night, driving home in the middle of nowhere and some, farm out somewhere. And she just said, oh, no, I think you just need to start doing this. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that. That's really special. So, is there anything else you want to tell us about your amazing practice before we go on to our last 4 questions?
Oh my gosh, is it already that time?
It is. It's gone so fast, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess I don't know what else I can say other than I just feel really happy and so like awesome to connect with people like you, and this is now like the new normal. I feel like it's just going from strength to strength, and I'm learning so much, and I just want to keep learning. And I just, it's
you're on a great journey, I would say.
Yeah, isn't it? Just this beautiful journey.
Totally.
And if anything, what I've gone through in the last wee while, I've it's been really hard, but I know that there's that rainbow at the end when you go through a big loss. And it's, that's life, and you have to just make lemonade out of the lemons.
Yeah.
And just, we're only here once, and make it beautiful.
Such good advice.
Yeah.
And what can you see in your future, do you think, Lucy?
Oh gosh, I'm terrible at looking ahead. I think I'm just probably doing more of what I am, and maybe not worrying too much about financial side of things, and am I gonna make it work, and just going with it and knowing that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and continue making art, and maybe have my own solo show, which would be really cool to experience.
And I'm sure you will. I'm totally
I
sure
might
you
get
will.
lots of big ones or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I can totally see that happening. I'm sure you're going to have a really successful career. And for people who'd like to buy your work, you have originals on your website for sale. And do you do prints at all?
I am in the process of starting to do prints. I get asked a lot. But I want to make sure it's the ones that I want to put out there as prints. But maybe one day. But there are all the originals that I have links through my website. The new ones that I have out at Greenhouse Interiors are mostly just on their website, but I will update and put full links to them all anyway. And
and we have links to your social media and your website on your blog post, and also some beautiful examples of some of your work. So you can check that out, guys, on creativematters.co.nz. And on to our 4 final questions. Oh, yes. Your favourite artist of all time?
Oh, see, that is so hard. I do not have a favourite artist of all time, but the contemporary ones I'm looking at right now would be Ash Holmes, as an Australian painter. She's very abstract, does really big gestural things. Harold Davidson, I think is his name, and he's in Australia too, really kind of funky, bright kind of colours. Helen Dean, of course, who you've just talked to.
Yes.
Total, I love her work so
wow,
much.
There is a little sort of, you can see a connection between the work. They're different, but they are similar in a way.
Yeah, I love how she's,
she's very clever.
Yeah, and who else? Oh, Nicola Bennett. I love her work too, and she does these kind of abstract food representations, and they're just her colours are beautiful. So I've got a few that I'm really into, but no overall artist.
That sounds good. I am going to check them out. I'll put them at the bottom of your blog post as well.
Send you them.
Send me the links. That would be interesting. And as an artist, what would you say is your biggest challenge?
As an artist, having the time to paint is always the challenge, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a very common
Staying
challenge.
in that flow state for as long as possible.
Yeah. And what would you say to your younger artistic self coming out of Elam?
Oh, coming out of Elam. I'll pick up the paintbrush a bit sooner, Lucy. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just go for it. I probably don't worry too much about what people are thinking and so much about the career side of things, and just, yeah, if it fills your cup creatively to do that more, yeah.
And why do you think that you make the kind of work that you make?
Oh, well, because of my mum. She's just always that driving force behind it all. And I do it for her, basically. When every painting I finish, I say, "Do you like that, Mum?" And yeah, it's just all for her, really.
That's so nice. And it's a lovely way for you to connect with her, and lovely that she still has that sort of influence.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll just be like, "No, put that blue there." She loves blue.
That's really beautiful. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. And Lucy, it's been a complete pleasure meeting you.
Oh, it's been so nice coming out
Thank you.
here.
I could just sit here chatting with you all afternoon.
That went really fast.
Yeah, it was so nice. And you're a beautiful person, and I think your practice reflects that. Aww. And I think everyone should check it out because it is amazing work. And can't wait to see your first solo exhibition.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, just if anything, I just want to get across to someone, if they are listening, just to follow their heart. And no matter what it is, you know, if you love it so much, people will see the love that you put into it and the joy. And I think what you're doing is so wonderful when you're talking to people and sharing these stories. It doesn't matter where you've come from, and you know, it's as long as you put all the love into it and share that love, it's the main thing. So yeah, hope that someone gets something from that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Thank you so much, Lucy.
Oh, thanks, Mandy.